games at?
Where are the games?
Where are the games?
It's dry. Where are the games?
I kind of keep waiting for them to do their thing.
I don't see anything.
These are easily the most pointless upgrades I've ever experienced.
What is the point of buying a console if you can just make a PC?
If you're gonna have everything on PC, why not just buy a PC and then console?
Where are the games? Where are the deadlines? Where are the projects? Where are the teases? Like, it feels weird that it's like,
Why buy consoles?
Now comes the fun part. We get to see how the development community takes advantage of that feature set.
Alright guys, this is your boy Liger, one half Endure, and welcome to another episode of Generation N, where Liger was correct once again. Now, like I said, this video, I said in a previous video, recent previous video, I put a video saying I'm hoping Microsoft the best in the next generation. I want them to see that even if I don't like a lot of the games that they make, they're not in the 360 days, but these games, I said, you know what? I don't have no problem with it because there's preferences out there. People like them. So as long as I have a competition to push gaming itself, I have no problem with it. Same thing for Sony. Even though I have a Sony PlayStation 5 or PC, I know you play PC games, but my point is I like different. I want a bigger ocean, so you could get all kind of fish in there, all kind of stuff. I mean, okay, I just want a bigger media, so everybody could have their games. We could push it, all right. From the games that I don't like to the games the games I like. The games I like that people for some reason hate, to the games that they like, just shooters, that's all they do, or just stream it or whatever. Now, gaming has gotten kind of messed up now that it's gone mainstream, and now that people see that streaming and YouTubing, Twitch streaming and all that stuff makes money, and it's gotten crappier. I will admit to that. It's gotten crappier and stupid. But even though my console of choice is not Xbox, I didn't wish it the bad. But I've seen more and more now that when people thought Phil Spencer did better than Don Matrick, oh wow, that hope has dwindled. And I can tell you right now, Phil Spencer and Sarah Bond don't know jack shit about the company they're running. People don't give a damn about the console. I'm just being specific here about a console with teraflops and all that stuff like that. They got people out there want it because they want to dick measure against PlayStation for some weird reason. That's why I say I don't, and now that Xbox has come kind of minorly irrelevant in that. Now they're using the Switch 2 to be like, oh, the Switch 2 screen is more slower, and they're like, I don't give a damn. Can he play games? See, the one thing Nintendo have over all the other consoles is games, in my opinion. This is my opinion. I know. It's my preference. Nintendo style games are very intriguing to me, and goes to second party and some third party and half an indie. But as long as it has games, is what it is. And what we just saw is Microsoft shit in the bed because they cancel games. The thing that they need to be relevant. What Xbox services are everywhere. If I don't have games to play, then why would I play everywhere? I don't care for it. Just give me games. That's why the intro you saw is, where's the games? Where's the games? Where's the games? That's the point. So let's use Eddie Beyond and talk about it. His video is AAA gaming is effing dead. They can't stop killing games. I wonder why.
wealthiest companies, standing amongst the few others who can officially call themselves a trillion-dollar empire. These companies have so much money, they don't know what to do with it. Yet, despite this, Microsoft has completely ruined its gaming division in Xbox through pushing false ownership onto players and normalizing the concept of turning games from being works of art that can be commercially successful like they have been in the past, instead into turning them into simply being content that's fed into a machine to be churned, consumed, and inevitably forgotten about until this process just repeats itself in the future. And
I like the way he said that because you know how I am an anti-consumer. Churn and consume. That's one of the problems. Stop being a consumer, be a customer. Gamers, you have the ultimate power in your wallet. I've said this multiple times. I'll keep on saying it because it's my point. Because people will say, "Oh, I'm a Nintendo fan." If you don't like Nintendo, the videos I do arguing against Nintendo on this channel are logical videos about facts and stuff like that. But if you just said, and I have started a lot of videos and then I'll just like delete it because it's like, yeah, I can't argue that preference. But if you just said, hey, I don't like Nintendo because the console, oh, sorry. I don't like that because the console is expensive. I don't see the games that I like. They make the kiddie games. We know those little arguments, but whatever. And Nintendo, I just don't want to spend my money on Nintendo games. I'll leave you the hell alone in your videos. There's multiple videos I have started, and people started to say that a lot and repeat. I was like, you know what? Yeah, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna make a video out of this. That's all it is. Be a customer. Your most ultimate power as a gamer is your money. Use your money wisely. That's why I came up with a thing called "Speak with Your Wallet" long time ago. But we see when you don't speak with your wallet, you just want to be the cool kid, or you want to just make money off of streaming. This is what you get.
now, Microsoft, with all their talk about how Xbox is stronger than ever before, just dropped a bombshell, and this is from IGN. Microsoft makes significant layoffs across gaming division. Xbox boss Phil Spencer confirms in memo to staff. Yep, it happened again, and this time it's so much worse. So amidst this massive layoff of talent, that has hit everything, by the way, not just Xbox. Microsoft is now reeling in people leaving, and I can only imagine the brain drain from this purge as well.
Yep.
Some studios affected were King, which makes Candy Crush. They were apparently hit very hard by these layoffs. Also, the London-based Bethesda studio was also hit, as well
Bethesda.
as Rare, that's the makers of Sea of Thieves.
And
And they
Rare.
also had their newest game, Everwilds, hit so badly by these layoffs that it's been reported pretty much everywhere that Everwilds is now canceled completely and it's dead. By the way,
And again, people forget. People forget this, and it's so puzzling to me. The two brothers who came up with Rare, whatever, they came back. I think it was what, 2008 or 9. They did an interview or stuff that said the dumbest thing they have done was to leave Nintendo and went to Microsoft. The dumbest thing they said the dumbest thing they have done is to leave Nintendo and went to Microsoft. I did a video about it a long time ago. How? Yeah, go figure.
Everwilds was first announced in 2019, if you can believe it. So yeah, it's never coming now.
2019.
So
Who's a good boy, Parson?
I am coming now. So, what is happening with Microsoft and their gaming division? Well, these layoffs has amounted in about 4% of Microsoft's entire workforce being reduced. Oh, that's not that high, I hear you say. Sure, if you have 100 employees, maybe, but Microsoft, in case you don't know, has over 220,000 employees. Meaning, as IGN states here, that an eye-watering 9,100 employees were laid off across Microsoft today. The
Yep.
average AAA dev studios may be like 300 to 400 people.
And since I ain't looking deeper into this, because if it said it was like Nintendo or something, I'd look in more deeper if I want to. I don't think it's kind of weird that Microsoft doing this, but most of the hits are to the gaming part of it, not the other parts of, Windows and Surface tablet. Oh, sorry. and other places, but whatever. Microsoft Games, I'm thinking Microsoft Games is gonna be a service. Like I said before, it's gonna be a service. That's why they have the Game Pass. They want it to be a service, and they don't want to make no games because all they want to do is make money. And I'm not against them making money, but that's what they've been trying to do. They're trying to make Microsoft games a service from since 2013. From 2012, I should say, when they introduced the Xbox One X. I mean, the Xbox One. They try to make it into a service. Or you can get your TV here, you can get this there, you can get that there, you can get this there. That's what it was trying to do from the get go. Make it into a service.
So, if you wanted to quantify that, let's just say that each team was maybe 300 people. That's pretty much 30 studios worth of workers just cut from Microsoft and Xbox. So, yeah, this is a little bit catastrophic. Imagine how these people feel, and more importantly, how competitive and difficult it's going to be for these now 9,100 employees to suddenly find new jobs and having to compete amongst each other and just random other hires in the industry. Then Phil Spencer, who has run Xbox for years, had to release a statement, and
I think he has run Xbox horribly now. I was hinted towards it, but I could guarantee say now it's been running badly.
it's just not good, man. There's parts that I highlighted here, like Phil saying that, oh, we want to position gaming for enduring success and the focus on growth. And that
Blah,
they
blah,
removed
blah.
layers of management who were probably useless and doing nothing and just wasting money, like most management does, let's be real. But also, our platform, hardware, and game roadmap has never looked stronger.
Really?
And in order to keep that success, we're also going to lay off 9,100 of you because that's what a company that is successful
Do.
and has apparently never looked stronger does. Expect not really at all. And this is just corporate gobbledygook jargon at its finest.
Yep.
Phil even says the success they're currently seeing is based on tough decisions made previously. This is corporate talk for that he means that he's allowed to still be employed and, rake in his benefits because, well, he's laying off you instead. As you can see, this entire thing just kind of reads like a guy who knows that his and his upper management's decisions have not bore the fruit that he promised over many years at this point. And
Exactly.
that the cost and spending habits to make things like Xbox Game Pass viable are very clearly not working for Microsoft in the long run. But don't worry, guys, because remember, Phil said Xbox has never been stronger. Just close your eyes as 9,000 people leave the company again. Oh yeah, let's not forget that Microsoft laid off almost 2,000 people back in January 2024 already. And that was done following Microsoft spending 69 billion schmeckles to buy Activision Blizzard, by the way. Phil actually told his staff, hey, so we spent an absurd amount of money because I really wanted Call of Duty, but anyways, you're all fired. Thanks for nothing, I guess. Oh, what's that? It doesn't end there? You're telling me that Phil laid off another 600 people in September 2024 as well as seen here? Phil, what are you doing over there? Why is everyone losing their jobs but you, it seems?
You can't go wrong with this one.
It seems. I thought you said Xbox and Microsoft are stronger than ever. I mean,
Exactly.
you did say that, right? These are your words on screen here, aren't they? Because this doesn't sound like the words of a guy who is really confident in what he's doing with his company. Phil's pretty much standing on a lifeboat as the Titanic sinks and people are drowning and he's waving his arms while wearing a life jacket with a chest full of gold beside him telling
And that's why and that's why I've said this before. Hot take, people, hot take. Now, this is like I said, hot take. Cover your virgin ears. When people was against Don Matrick, I said, you could see the recent video that said, you know what? People might not like Don Matrick, but he told the truth. He told the truth. PlayStation did what Xbox did back in 2012, but PlayStation kept quiet and kind of advertised it better. I give PlayStation that props to PlayStation because they won the console, the quote unquote quotation marks. I do air quotes here. Console war of the 8th gen. Good for them. Whoopee. Good games. Blah blah blah. I'm not knocking it because you know what. I'm playing some of those good games on my PlayStation 5 because it's backwards capability. Thank goodness for that. But other than that, though, at least Magic told the truth. Phil basically is just like I don't know what to call it. He's a snake in the grass.
Everyone around him, relax. Everything is fine, guys. Also, by the way, nobody else has lifeboats but him and his yes men, because of course. And I don't know about you guys, but this sounds more like to me that Xbox has a really big problem and it's not its developers. It seems more like Xbox has a Phil Spencer problem, and frankly, I think it's high time the guy leaves his position or gets fired already.
Yeah,
Because a
yeah.
little lore for you, in case you don't know, Philly Cheesesteak Spencer took over Xbox in March 2014. So this guy has been in charge of this sinking ship for 11 years now, if you can believe it. And since he took over Xbox, he has pretty much completely lost that entire console's identity, and none of their games are really exclusives anymore, because they're all releasing everything pretty much everywhere now. And he's
Yep.
turned a once thriving platform into a blockbuster with a subscription model that churns out content to keep people distracted long enough until the next billing cycle.
Yep.
Have you all heard of Laura Fryer? Here's some more lore for you. So Laura was one of the founding members of Xbox. She helped design and create that entire ecosystem, and also helped Microsoft foster and bring games like Halo and more to the platform. And Laura, as seen here from IGN, stating herself that Xbox hardware is dead, says founding team member, it looks like Xbox has no desire or literally can't ship hardware anymore.
There you
Fun
go.
fact, by the way, Laura has a YouTube channel. Oh yeah, she recently also spoke about how disappointed she was in Xbox as a platform. Here's a bit of her
Oh,
latest
wow.
video. I'll let Laura explain it herself, so please watch.
Xbox has finally landed on a strategy, a plan for the future of Xbox. I could see that Xbox had a chance of succeeding. We were listening to developers and we were building exclusive, high-quality first-party titles. We knew that
Exclusive first party titles. Oh my goodness. What company did that? And everybody's bitching about them. Yeah, we don't need a first party. We don't need exclusivity. I've said it multiple times, said it again, because don't let the PC people talk their trash, okay, in this one. And I'm talking about the dregs of the dregs. I'm not talking about the true PC people who understand this. You need exclusives. Okay? Sorry, but you do. Those are the games that takes time to figure out the hardware, or you do unique stuff with the hardware. Then it could transcribe into something good in that game. Not every game not every console, I should say, needs to be multi-plat. It just don't. Some multi-plats work good. I'm not against that. If you have a multiplayer game and you want multi-plats, yeah, go ahead. But you do need exclusives to show why the game is. And when you have exclusive, and I saw this up close and personal when I was working with. Well, let me not say EA. Let me not say EA. Cause that was utter trash. But when I worked with Ubisoft and they did Red Steel 2, 1 and 2, but 2 mostly. That game is no game has done what that game has done in it. Not even VR games ain't even done what that, and that's perfect. That game is perfect for VR. Red Steel 2 is perfect for VR. Red Steel 1, if you could rework the physics, the fighting better, which they need to. But Red Steel 2 is perfect. You could switch your guns on the fly to the sword. You could fight. You could do combos and everything. I've not seen a game that does that. I've not seen a VR game that does that. Sorry, I've not. If they have, please put it in the description so I can look at it and see. I was there with Ubisoft working and see behind the scenes. I saw the guys coded it and everything. But when it was exclusive, they made that game stand out. That's the point. When no more heroes. I have not played No More Heroes 3. People said it's not as 1 and 2. But 1 and 2 works better on the Wii. You get a style. That's what exclusivity does. And Laura says it because she knows about it. I go with somebody who's been in the industry and knows how to do stuff. Jeez.
platform adoption requires proof. People don't buy your new hardware if there's no reason to.
Exactly.
Definitely a problem for the new Xbox handheld. And it worked. By 2012, Xbox was a multi-billion-dollar business. And they were a true player in the living room.
Exactly.
Fast forward, and here we are. It's 1 year from the 25th anniversary of the Xbox. And it looks like they're abandoning pretty much everything that made the Xbox brand great in the first place. Let's start with the handheld announcement. I've seen mixed reactions, and that has me really puzzled because I don't see any reason why anyone would buy this piece of hardware.
Yeah, so
Wow. Wow. Thank you. Wow and wow. So she says, who helped create Xbox, says, I don't understand why they would buy that piece of hardware. But all you haters out there who rage me against Nintendo and say Nintendo Switch is this and blah 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 and all this stuff. See, y'all just don't know what y'all talking about. You Nintendine and all y'all morons. You don't know what y'all talking about at all. At all.
as you just saw, Laura pretty much just made Xbox into a pinata and then beat it senseless
Yes.
with logic. And I mean, who could really blame her? How would you feel knowing that this cultural juggernaut that you helped create 25 years ago is now suddenly reduced to a shell of itself, being ran by morons who are throwing away human developers almost constantly these times?
Yep.
Here's the thing, right? Microsoft has opened Pandora's box here. We can all agree on that. They
Yep.
shed their identity. They removed any reason whatsoever to
Yep.
really own an Xbox at this point, and they're
Yep.
continuing to double down on their limited and vastly inferior hardware and games to justify whatever they can to keep this grift going. Because I remember when I left Xbox myself, it was 2013. God, I was young. You guys probably know where I'm going with this, okay? But it was E3, and I, by the way,
2013. That's when he left. We know the whole Don Matrix thing again. But again, I respect Don Matrix because he told you the flipping truth. He didn't lie to you. He didn't sugarcoat it. He told you the truth. Y'all took it as that, and then you see what happened. That's what it is. And you see when he was talking, and she was talking about how Xbox was all that. 360 was the only Xbox I would have bought.
consider E3 2013 to be, to this day, the single most important E3 ever recorded in the history of video games, and I still stand by that. Because it was in that moment that PlayStation not only won the console war for good, but actually it was also when Xbox lost their identity and their audience just left them, and they genuinely never recovered from that moment onward. If you don't remember, Xbox wanted your games to be tied to you, and you couldn't even give physical discs to your friends to play unless they
Yep.
paid full price to unlock that disc, even if it was physical, to play it. They wanted to limit gaming and just ruin it pretty much. So let me jog your memory. Here's a clip of PlayStation destroying Xbox forever pretty much, and please watch.
And that's why I said that PlayStation did the exact same thing, but they figured it out and they did better advertisement. That's why I said it just early in the video. They did a better advertisement, but they did the exact same thing that Xbox was doing. Exact same thing. But it cut a coded a little more better.
Destroying Xbox forever pretty much, and please watch.
In addition to creating an amazing library of new titles on PlayStation 4, we're equally focused on delivering what gamers want most, without imposing restrictions or devaluing their PS4 purchases. For instance, PlayStation 4 won't impose any new restrictions on the use of PS4 gamers.
All right, I know he's eating it up. That dude right there also is a prick. He's a prick. I'm sorry, he's a prick. Because he's the same piece of crap who's, oh, we found 5,000 more PlayStation 2 and blah, blah, blah. And then come to find out. But he's the thing I'm worried about it, that people clapping right now, this dick is the one who pushed more services for PlayStation. That's why your condo was crappy. He's the one who wanted to put live service games on PlayStation. You dick. So see how y'all eat it up? Y'all eat it up. Y'all shouting and cheering. Well, he's the one. Well, in the background, he was already scheming to make live service games that you don't own your games. And you need the internet, always online. And you need to keep on monetizing it. That's what he was pushing. But y'all did not see that coming. Again, hate Don Matrix. But again, he told the truth up front in your face. I'd rather you tell me in my face than lie to me like that, man.
We believe in the model that people embrace today with PlayStation 3 and continue to demand. They have the rights to use that copy of the game. They can trade in the game at retail, sell it to another person, lend it to a friend, or keep it forever.
Yeah, you could do the exact same thing with key cards, but I digress since you can't do it with digital because the stupid concept of use digital games. Huh? What? You? How would I know how to use digital game is? What the frick are y'all talking about?
In addition, PlayStation 4 disc-based games don't need to be connected online to play.
For now, back in the timing.
Any type of authentication. If you enjoy playing single-player games offline, PS4 won't require you to check in online periodically.
I wish that continued, but it did not.
Yeah, so that moment there was what really killed Xbox and kind of, started the whole downfall. And frankly, since then, Xbox has never really truly recovered from that public shaming even to this day. Because like I said, Philly Boy was brought on the next year after that disastrous E3 ruined Xbox. And then his bright idea was, let's turn Xbox into Netflix, and in theory it sounded good until you realize that it ruined and removed any incentive for games to sell well,
Yep.
or even be good on Xbox because copies sold suddenly no longer mattered, and Halo has limped on for years, Gears of War lost complete relevance pretty much, and now we're still waiting for State of Decay 3, Fable Perfect Dark, and more to come out. And again, the box of Pandora is open now when Phil decided to turn Xbox into a streaming service, and now it can't be undone. Because now there's really no way to stop that train. There's only two options, and neither really seems to be working. They can either keep Game Pass alive, which will inevitably require Microsoft to keep downsizing and removing thousands of developers in order to maintain their costs and profits, or they just pull the plug one day and all of this just dies for good and Microsoft just gives up entirely. And frankly, at this point, I think the realistic move here is Microsoft will just keep removing developers by the thousands until eventually they're about as slimmed down as Phil Spencer looks these days, because he's 100% on Ozempic, isn't he? Because Jesus, dude, look at him. But it's bad when there's barely any good news to bring about Xbox. Their games never seemingly win Game of the Year anymore.
Yep.
They're constantly behind, and their consoles sell in the thousands when their competitors routinely sell in the millions. And of course, as I'm making this video, holy crap, some big breaking news just dropped. So, this is from Insider Gaming. Perfect Dark canceled, the initiative shut down, and Xbox no longer working with Crystal Dynamics. What is going on over there? Phil, somebody call Phil Spencer. Where is Phil? What is he doing right now? Well, Matt Booty, who also runs really high up top at Xbox as well when it comes to decisions, has indeed confirmed that the initiative, which was making Perfect Dark, is dead. Here's what he said. As part of this, we are closing one of our studios. The initiative, these decisions, along with other changes across our teams, reflect a broader effort to adjust priorities and focus resources to set up our teams for greater success within a changing industry landscape. We did not make these changes lightly, as each project and team represent years of effort, imagination, and commitment. Holy crap, dude. The initiative was supposed to be Xbox's first quadruple A studio, in case you don't remember. And Perfect Dark was meant to be one of the crown jewels in their possession. But one look at that trailer, and you saw how they gave the main lady the DEI chin, and
Other than Joanne and Dot looking like that, the game looked pretty promising. And I was like, oh man, I can't wait to. Again, this is what kills me for the Xbox.
Knew exactly where this game was going to end up. And a reminder that one of the developers who worked on Perfect Dark thought that, as seen here, Perfect Dark level designer says gamers were a mistake. Attacked them as racist pigs for opposing race swaps. So it seems like a lot.
Oh, goody. And now you lost your job, you dumb butt munch. Oh, y'all stupid. Y'all bite the hand that feeds you.
Of the activists that were pushing nonsense are getting gutted, and games made by people like that level designer guy are now being thrown into the trash because it was so obvious that Perfect Dark was just going to be another girl boss ma'am chin slop game where all the men are bad and diverse women are the heroes. And also they're all lesbians somehow too, because of course they are. And oh my god, it doesn't stop. More breaking news. Dude, okay, I got another big bombshell here we need to talk about. It has now been confirmed that Turn 10, which makes the Forza games, has officially lost 50% of their staff following this massive layoff purge by Microsoft. And Jason Schreier, the journalist who withheld information about Blizzard's harassment allegations until he could sell it in a book to make money off of it, that's real, go look it up, I'm not lying, has confirmed via Blue Sky that Turn 10 has indeed lost 50% of its developers following this purge. That one hurts, because Turn 10 is genuinely one of the best studios that Microsoft owns to this day. The Forza games routinely, they review well.
Yep.
But again, like I've been saying this entire time, Phil Spencer turning Xbox into a Netflix version of itself has had disastrous consequences for the company.
Yep.
We ran a promotion
Exactly.
cutting the price of Mint Unlimited.
And I've been saying for years, dude, that Microsoft's strategy with Game Pass would not work in the long run.
So
and
would
by the
I.
way, go look it up on my channel. I made videos well over 2 years
I said it, but I'll admit to it. I think that was what they wanted to do, and it can work. They're doing what Google Stadia can't. It can work, but it's still you still need games. As bad as I said you still need games.
ago now, stating that Microsoft's push for Game Pass will not work and is just cannibalizing sales and ruining their studios. And in this instant, I'm unfortunately right. Look, I don't want people to lose their jobs, but Xbox leadership is at fault here. The fact is, in their infinite wisdom, they decided that, yeah, let's lay off 50% of Turn 10 that makes our premier racing games is just insane to me. Yet Matt Booty and Phil Spencer, who've been running Xbox into the ground, get to stay. No, it's time that these morons leave Microsoft and Xbox so that they can restructure their dying gaming division from the top this time and not the bottom. Sure, yeah, there's still weird activists at Microsoft, absolutely 100%, but it is the leadership that allowed this nonsense to fester and become what it is today that are at fault. Like recently, how 343, or I guess Halo Studios now, whatever, they're adding Pride Disability Armor to Halo Infinite. Ah yes, this will for sure bring back the players to your struggling
Oh my
game.
goodness,
Very
y'all
smart of you,
stupid.
Microsoft. Let's just keep virtue signaling like this while
Y'all
refusing to address the
stupid.
real problems at Xbox, but to be real with you guys, I don't think they can fix this either way. Imagine Xbox as a train, okay? Phil and Matt are the conductors at the very front of the train, they're pulling all the levers, and everyone else that works at Xbox is holding on for dear life as this train shackles and buckles while they're flying down the track at 200 miles per hour. And Phil and Matt are just uncoupling train cars full of people one by one to reduce the weight of the train, hurtling these teams of people into the canyon below.
Yep.
Oh my god, they're dying by the spades, while
Yep.
Phil Spencer and Matt Booty are just panicking at the front that if they reduce their weight enough, the brakes will suddenly work. But then the brutal truth is dawned upon them that the brakes have long been broken, the parachutes they have aren't opening up, the money is running out, and there's no more train carts to release to remove the speed anymore. And that in this moment, Phil Spencer and Matt Booty are quickly realizing that all the purges, all the saving faces, all of it was for nothing. And they're going to crash and burn despite their best efforts. And that these guys, in my opinion, they need to leave Xbox. Because how can you let people like this run your gaming empire for over 10 years, by
Yes,
the way,
yeah.
with such catastrophic results?
Yep.
And think that the better alternative is to just allow these types.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut it off right there, but I also got a video called, y'all gonna maybe see, I'm gonna put this video after the fact, but it's a video talking about Matt Booty and stuff like that from how Matt Booty destroyed Halo and everything. So y'all gonna see that video as well too. I'm telling you,
To keep pushing their politics and ideas when it is so clearly not working at all. You have to be an actual moron to keep letting these inept leadership people get away with what is so clearly failure after soul-crushing failure like this. Oh great, even more layoffs and bad news. Why not? Let's just add it to the pile. Guess which studio now got hit by Microsoft's mass layoffs? This is from Insider Gaming. Oh, it's Call of Duty of all places. Multiple studios that worked on Call of Duty have now also been hit with mass layoffs. You gotta be kidding me, man. According to Insider Gaming, Sledgehammer Games, which makes the Modern Warfare games, has been hit with mass layoffs, and so too has Raven Software, which they have worked on all kinds of Call of Duty games in the past already. But Treyarch, which
I'm not surprised, and like I said, the last Call of Duty game that I played that I enjoyed was Black Ops 2. So again, that's a long time ago, and it is what it is.
primarily does Black Ops, does not seem to be affected by this yet anyways. And despite Call of Duty, of course, having record-breaking sales and pulling in billions of dollars every year, Microsoft still axed them. So at this point, I gotta ask, man, honestly, if the people making what is arguably the best-selling game every year, pretty much, that being Call of Duty obviously, are not even immune from these layoffs, What even is the point of job security in AAA gaming anymore? Like, think of all the stuff I covered in this video already. Perfect Dark, Turn 10, Call of Duty Now, and more, all laid off, yet despite all of this, the leadership that led these decisions are sitting pretty and employed in their air-conditioned offices despite their actions resulting in massive failures. Sure, Microsoft may have an activist problem, but it so desperately needs to fix its leadership, man. Even Call of Duty isn't safe from this. Dude, Modern Warfare 3 sold $775 million in 5 days. And it was the second highest selling game of 2023. Hogwarts Legacy beat it, and then you had Black Ops 6 last year, which sold the most copies out of any game in 2024, and Call of Duty as a franchise, as seen here, despite spending down across the board. So you're telling me, even if you deliver games that sell $1 billion and more, it's still not enough for these corporations anymore.
Yep.
Now I'm not so sure Black Ops 7 will launch on Game Pass, because Microsoft desperately needs that money. I guess that $69 billion purchase of Activision Blizzard clearly showing that it's having everlasting detrimental effects across Microsoft even now. Wow, almost as if buying that company was a massive gamble and it's not paying off the way they wanted it to. Who could have guessed that? Or maybe, and I know this is cynical, but Microsoft likely
Why
knows
not?
eventually if they shed enough workers, the purchase will work in their favor. But regardless, as you can see from all of this info presented that I now have to edit into a video, I need more coffee, man. Microsoft has now opened Pandora's box a long time ago, and it is just running rampant, dude. And they clearly believed in that in their hubris they could, juggle all these spinning plates and everything would just work out fine. And yet what I keep saying in videos keeps happening, which is Microsoft is terrible at fostering talent, especially in the gaming space. And if today's announcements of layoffs does not convince you of that, then you're likely gullible enough to even buy a jar full of oxygen, which is probably full of a fart, let's be real, and believe that to be a worthwhile purchase. Phil Spencer and Matt Booty, they've got to go. This cannot continue. Today is a dark day for video games, and now the industry is in even more shambles than it already was. But what do you think? Let me know in the comments. Thanks.
Okay, you already don't know what I think, and again, I'm not surprised. I really do want them to do good, but again, if y'all do stupid shit like this, what can I say? So, and again, do I think my Nintendo brand is gonna stay relevant for the rest of years to come? No, it'll eventually go away. But you see, what happened is we let poison get into the gaming industry with the woke media and on the casual, not the casuals like how Nintendo made casuals with the Wii. No, the casuals of people who don't know whatever. They see, oh man, I can get hype off of this. I can make money off of this. I can get value off of this. You gamer girls, not the true gamer girls like my sister Katie, whatever, girls who wear bikinis and stuff because they want to make money, and they like Pokimane and all of them who just whatever, who are evil people, and the sadistic evil witches, and stuff like that. You got those people in there. You got guys who can make who stream and do stupid stuff and whatever. Again, everybody has their own form of entertainment, so I let that go in that regard. But just those people got in here, then the journalism got in here, and like, oh, and then Gamergate is what started all this stupid crap because of a damn, as usual. And I'm gonna say that right here. I'm sorry if I sound what it is, but I don't give a dang no more. Like I said, and trust me, I'm not angry. Like I said, because stuff like this is what made me don't care about video games no more. I buy what I want and I move on, because my days of trying to say, that was back in 2014 to 2015. I was like, oh man, after that, I don't care no more. I'm just buying games, being a customer, buy what I like and move on. But of course, Gamergate is what started most of this shit. And of course, what it is, women, white leftist women. I've said it. I'm gonna say something I say in my radio podcast. And I'm gonna say it here, and I'm gonna call and then move on, and basically in the video. In my radio podcast that I do, I've said there's one type of woman out, there's one type of person out there that's the most racist, the most idiotic, the most self-entitled, the most evil person out there. And it's a specific type of group. White leftist women. They're the most evil people I've ever met in my lifetime. They're the same people who would tell a Hispanic and a Filipino and stuff like that. They say, "Oh, you're using gendered language." That's their language. You women are so freaking annoying that you would tell another person how to speak in their effing language. Oh, you should not. It's not L. It's not. It's not L. It's not La. It's Latinx, Filipinx, YX. Because we don't need to put the gender language. Bitch, shut the. Remember, gaming it started with a girl cheating on her boyfriend to get good reviews of her shitty ass game. That's how it started. And then you put in Anita Sarkeesian with her dumbass way to lie and say, oh, they use lipstick and da da da. Even though she used lipstick and stuff in the same video, she talking about how we sexualize women, but she used the same stuff in her video to show herself. How stupid! And people fall for that dumb shit, which is like, what? Huh? And then when you get games that they're like, well, we never played a Zelda, whatever. When Echoes of Windows came out, did anybody hear anything from Anita Sarkeesian? No, you did not. And Zoe Quinn and all the trans crap and saying, well, oh, we need to make Samus a transgender person. Why? Why do we need to make Samus a transgender? And how depraved and sick you are, because the only way we could figure out that Samus will be a transgender, quote unquote, as you would, if we show dick and balls on Samus. And where in the game have they shown that? No place. It was a female. It was established 1988, 89, somewhere in that right there. They established she was a female. Yes, they wear the pink bathing suit. It wasn't really super graphical and that. And then keep on, and now they use these shorts and stuff, which I like too. But it's been a female all the time. But you got to show a bulge there or something. How depraved are you people to introduce that to kids who want to just play the game, enjoy the game? That's the sickness that's in y'all head. Gamergate got in there, made it political, and now we see all the bullshit that's been going on right now. Sorry, but I am very, very, I am not saying white conservative women. I'm not saying white centrist women. I'm not saying white, Democratic women. I say white leftists. The nut jobs are the nut jobs. They have done so much damage to this. And if you look at world history and everything, you will see that too. Because dumbass men will follow you. Daggone weak ass men will follow just together. They'll sniff for the coochie from these some of these women. Nah, no, I don't. I've turned that. Look, like I said, I'm a married man, whatever. But I never ever. There's times where I remember I was doing music and music. I was doing music, sorry, in shows, and I remember that what was it? These same kind of ladies was trying to, and some black women too. But they were like, I remember when the best example is when I was down in Miami, and I used to do midnight shows for New Year's Eve. I used to tell my boys, because it's a band, and we have boys and girls in a band, but I say, the shows we were doing, we were partying, we could have a couple drinks, whatever. I brought in the new year, everybody's having fun, and I'm like, yo, Liger, where you go? Nope. He said, I'm going back to the hotel room, man. And girls be coming up like, oh, I could go back with you. I said, no, you ain't. No, you ain't. I don't want none of you bitches around me at that time of night in my hotel by myself. Y'all think y'all, no. Because I'm not Kobe Bryant. I don't have Kobe Bryant money. That's the difference. Yeah, you know where I'm going to be in a room by myself with a woman I don't know. Because how much in the past have that hurt? Here's an example. Ziz I'm Sorry was a comedian. He was a comedian. He made a lot, and he was on Parks and Rec. He was moving on up. Just because he let himself go with a stupid woman, even though the woman said he didn't do that, he didn't force himself on him. He lost it. Have you heard from Aziz I'm Sorry in the last what was I'll say 7 years? No. Why? Because he let a white leftist woman ruin his life. Even though she forced herself on him, and he said multiple times, and she backed it up, saying that, he did tell me he don't want to do this. And dude, after the first time a woman tells me she don't want to do it, out. Get out my room. I don't want no problem. So I'm sorry. That's what caused the problem. People got into this gaming industry, and now the gaming industry is whack. Like you just saw with a guy for Perfect Dark, who that's the only part I didn't like about Perfect Dark was the damn face. It was ugly, and he's talking about racist, whatever. And you see how he looks. He looked like, I wish I had my clippy thing. He looked like a piece of S user. I don't know if there you go. There you go.
Tired of the ordinary mulch
crap.
every year routine?
Really? There you go. Look at him. You look like a bum. You look like a cave dweller. Guys like that just will do anything for the sniff of the coochie. Stop it. Get some help, as Michael Jordan would say. All right? Xbox. Y'all literally etched the bed. Literally did that. You did. And I wish the best for y'all. I truly do. But again, every time I'm thinking, okay, you know what, Liger? You being a little more. You being a little bit more. You're being a little harsh, a little hard. You being negative. I don't want to be a negative person all the time. So it's like you're being negative in your videos. I say, okay, let me put up something hopeful. Let me put up something nice. Let me put up something good. And reality just slapped me in the face. What are you talking about? You were correct all the time. Stop doing that. Tell the truth all the time. And that's what I'm telling the truth right now. Jeez. Sucky situation. Phil Spencer need to go. Sarah Bond needs to go. Matt Booty needs to flipping go. All of them need to go. They're horrible. Horrible. Y'all wanted, in 2004, y'all wanted Iwata to go away. And you kind of got your wish in the most unblind, sublime situation, which is messed up. But y'all wanted Iwata to go away. And now you're like, oh, we miss Iwata because he was, that's how it works. A guy who was a game developer, who became the CEO, who know how game work, who was a nice guy, a caring guy. When the money was tight, he took a $1 pay for the year while giving the rest of his money to his workers. That's the guy y'all wanted to get rid of, to go away, to lose his job. But Phil Spencer and Sarah Bond and stuff, the people who are shitty and Matt Booty who destroyed inside so they could get money, those are the people you wanted to keep, right? The old saying of good people die young and pricks live forever. There you go. Jeez Louise. I'm telling y'all are crazy. But anyway, I said what I had to say. I still want Xbox to do something. They're gonna do True Game Pass. That's the only thing they got. They ain't got nothing else. The Rogue Ally is basically a service onto a console. It's gonna cost. Nobody ain't see the cost of that thing. I guarantee you, people. And by the time this video out, the cost might have been shown. But I bet you ain't gonna be no $450. F off with that nonsense. So y'all talking about Nintendo's expensive. Oh, Nintendo's expensive. The Switch is expensive because of Nintendo games isn't worth it. Well, I don't know what to tell you other than you don't buy the console. Don't buy the console. Live your life. Go in your corner and go play your Xbox X Pass and your PlayStation console. Like I said with IGN, talking about the PlayStation which I have none against that, the console itself, but just the stupid logic. That's what the problem is with so many people. I don't argue against preference. I don't argue if you want to choose to do something, but is the factual thing that y'all say is just so stupid. That's why it's like the IGN thing, like, oh, the PlayStation Portable. PlayStation Portal. Oh, PlayStation Portal is more valuable than a Switch 2. What? Let me get this straight. IGN, like I said in the video, and I say it here again too, which is stupid. A console where I could put a game in there, a physical game inside there, and play my game free, no problem. Don't need the internet to play the game. And I could plug it to a TV later on and get 4K, whatever, and all that stuff is worth less than a console and also they said that the console was expensive. Oh, $450 is expensive. But the PlayStation Portal, which is $299 cheaper, but you need a $400 console at the least at the price to even make it relevant, or $120 a year to make it even playable to play the damn game. What sense does that make? What sense does that make? IGN, y'all are ignorant without IGN is that meme will always stay around because IGN is stupid. All right. Anyway, I'm gonna leave it at that. Generation N. I think you guys could say that Generation N has been a very, it's been a very successful video series that I've been doing from since last year. Because good grief, people keep on giving me more material. Oh well, with that said, remember, there's no perfect games out there. What's perfect to you is not perfect to me. What's perfect to me is not perfect to you. Simply enjoy games on all consoles, including PCs and mobile devices. And it's definitely not perfect to perfect dark because it ain't coming along. Ain't that a messed up shit. Peace out.